Hey everybody, it's Paige Evans, and I am so happy to be here at Scrapbook.com showing you some of my favorite techniques using my brand new collection with pink paisley called Bloom Street. So Bloom Street is very flower, spring oriented, so let's make some paper flowers. I have used my silhouette cameo to cut out layered flowers, and I'm going to show you how to assemble them. But first, I want to do mixed media on the background of my selected pattern paper so that while it's drying, I can work on the flowers. I'm using this pink polka dot paper as my background, and the first step is I want to splash watered down white acrylic paint. So I've got the white paint, and I'm actually going to use a toothbrush to do this. So if you have an old toothbrush lying around, this is a great use for it. So I'm adding water into the mix and then going to splash it. And what I love about the toothbrush is it creates such a variety of dots and splashes. You get a fine mist and you also get bigger splashes. I'm adding the white paint where I know I want my bouquet of flowers to go. And this creates another layer of interest on the background. It also mimics and brings out the white polka dots that are already printed on the background to add even more white polka dots in the form of paint. Okay. In addition to the white acrylic paint, I also want to use watercolors, and these are very opaque, and I think the colors match perfectly with my Bloom Street collection. Check out that row of hearts across the top, perfectly coordinates with this watercolor stamp set. I'm going to mix water and paints and just go to town, splashing across the background. Let's move these out of the way. Ooh, that worked well. Pick up my next color. So when I'm splashing it, I'm grabbing the paint and then flicking the brush. And that just gets a nice spray of color. Making sure to thoroughly clean my brush in between each color so that I get the pure color in the palette. Once we got all the colors splashed onto the background, I'm going to set this aside to dry and then start building our flowers. For every flower, I have used 5 different pattern papers, and I tried to make them monochromatic. So I have a orangey pink flower, a lighter pink flower, dark purple, dark pink, yellow, etc. And this is a great way to use all of the pattern papers in a collection and really make the page come to life. So I had my silhouette cameo cut out all of the flower pieces, and now it's time to bring them to life. And I do this by grabbing the 5 different layers of the flower, and then I'm going to pinch each petal of every flower, and this just gives them more of a realistic looking vibe. And you can be quick. You don't have to take too much time to do this and try and make it perfect. This is just pinching quickly, and then we'll layer the different layers together. Once you're finished bending all of the petals, grab an adhesive and then grab the next smallest. So we'll go from biggest to smallest, flip the flower over, add your adhesive, and then you can either, there's 2 ways, probably more, but you can either center them together so that they're all layered the same way, or you can offset them. So rotate it slightly, and then you just get a more full looking flower. It really just depends on the look you're going for. So for this one, I will just layer it directly on top of each other. So the flower will be all the same shape, like a concentric flower. Flip over the next smallest flower, add your adhesive to the middle, and then add it on top. I'll do that for the 2 remaining layers. There we go. And then when the flower is formed, you can bend it up again. You can just bend the petals, and this just gives them even more dimension. Now, I'm asked all the time if these flowers will get flattened in your scrapbooks, and just a little bit. But once you're flipping through your scrapbooks, you will still see the dimension even years and years later. So it's worth the effort to add this dimension because it can withstand the tests of time. For this next flower, you can see there are a lot more petals, and so you just have to put on your patience pants. That's what we say in my family. And just start bending away. And I like to do this as I'm watching my favorite television show, or maybe you can be more productive with your time and listen to podcasts or learn a new language. I don't know. It can be done, I bet. Multitask as you are creating these flowers, but they're addicting to make. And once you make one, you'll just want to make tons more. You can use them on cards. You can use them on mini albums. Heck, maybe you can even decorate clothes with your handmade flowers or shopping bags. So once again, I'm going to start with the largest flower and then work my way down. And this time I will show you how to offset. So dab your adhesive onto the back, and then instead of placing it directly on top, you can shift it over just a little bit. So offset it, and it just creates a whole different look. So I'll grab the next smallest size and then offset it again. Add adhesive and slightly rotate it so it's not concentric, but it's offset. And then the smallest one right on top. And once you've layered them all, you can, again, fluff up the petals, and this just puts the life back into them after being smushed from the adhesive. In addition to the flowers, you can also create leaves. So I've cut out some leaf clusters, and once again, you just grab each individual leaf and you pinch it. If you pinch it all the way in half, you can just open it back up and it still maintains its dimension. To finish off the flower centers, I have die cut 2 inner pieces. So there's a slightly, I wouldn't call this large, but there is a bigger one and then a tinier one. So you can add some adhesive to the back, place it in the very center, grab the next one, add adhesive, and then place it in the center. Once all of your flowers and leaves have been assembled and your background is dry, your layout is ready to be assembled. With my finished background and all the flowers and leaves, I started by placing the largest flowers first, then I came in with the smaller flowers, and finally I tucked the leaves underneath. So it really looks like a spring garden. I added my photo under here, and I chose a picture with the darker green, and it brings out the greens of the leaves. For the title, I used the puffy vinyl stickers. This hello title, you can see it's straight, but I curved it around the flower, which is fun to do with stickers that are malleable, and you can curve them and fit the design of your page. And to finish the title, so it says, "Hello, beautiful," I used the puffy phrase stickers. So I just added it underneath the picture, and then I did some machine stitching to help it stay in place forever. I wrote journaling with a dark blue pen underneath to tell the story of this photo, and I also added some puffy vinyl sticker leaves to bring in just that extra pop of color. I hope this layout inspires you to use your favorite pattern papers to create layered flowers. They are so fun to make, and they always bring life and that garden feel to your layouts. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more from Scrapbook.com, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a message. Happiness is life handmade.